Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Saman Habibi, your real estate agent in the Durham region. Today, we're going to be doing a market overview video. We're going to be looking at some trends and really seeing what's happening in the Durham region and doing a comparison to the rest of the GTA. As always, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with the content that we produce. And if you like, you can connect with me on my socials, which we have down below. You can find me on Instagram or on Twitter. And if you want to jump on a one-on-one call with me, my calendar link is also below in the show notes. Feel free to book a call with me and we could talk about your personal scenario. And just as a reminder, I did 2 videos with Clinton from Home Drafting and Design Services, where we talked about building triplexes and building garden suites in the Durham region. If you missed those videos, check out the link over here. All right, guys, well, let's jump into the numbers and see what's been going on in the Durham region. So if you take a look at my screen over here, we're gonna first be looking at month-over-month trends. So we're gonna be comparing August 2022 to September 2022. And we'll just go top down. So in terms of volumes are dropping off. And when I say volume, this is the number of transactions that have sold in the Durham region. In August, we had 814 transactions down to 671. The median price has stayed fairly consistent month over month. The average price is slightly higher, but we're noticing a decrease in the sales to list price ratio. So this is important because we're starting to see a correction of the way that agents are listing their properties. And in some of the previous videos that we've done, we've spoke about what this number is. And typically in previous months and peak months of the market, that percentage has been higher. So if you take a look at a listing and it's let's say listed at 999,000, you would apply this percentage to get a sense of where the price is going to fall in terms of the sales price. But now we're starting to see that number come down, and it looks like agents are starting to list their properties more at fair market value. And then in terms of how long it's taking a property to sell on the market, month over month, it's approximately the same. It takes around 2 to 3 weeks right now to sell a property. And the median days on market, again, same thing, around 11 days. Another cool stat to kind of take a look at is the number of properties that are selling over asking price. And that percentage right now is around 33%. So 33% of the properties listed will sell above asking price. Now, if we kind of take a look at this chart that I have my mouse on, we start to see the volume and the price range of the activities. So as you can see, there's definitely less homes that are selling in the $900 to $1.2 million range. As you can see, in August, from 1 million to 1.25 million, there's 135 transactions. And now that number is down to 100 transactions. And if we just go up the number and go down the pricing grid, 900 to 999,000, there's 98 transactions this year versus 118 last year. And if you just follow that, you'll see that there's more of a correction and movement towards the smaller price points. Now, if we look at the same data but year over year, we're going to be comparing September 2021 to September 2022. We see a huge drop off in volume. So in last year, there was 1,039 units sold in the Durham region. This year, only 671 units, almost nearly a 50% drop, 40-some% drop. And of course, median price year over year, we are down. And same with average price, which is comforting because if you're looking to get into the market, this is telling you that prices are moving in the right correction. If you waited, you've essentially saved yourself some money to get into the market. A cool, stat to compare is the percentage of sales above ask. So last year, 85% of properties were selling over asking price. Now that number is down to 33%. Huge drop off, and we kind of see that it's noticeable in the trends that we're looking at. The next chart is going to be looking at sales price year over year, and essentially what I'm trying to show here is the peak February number. As you can see, we know that the market started to cool down, so this is where you see the curve coming downwards. but then there was a bit of a flat line. So from July to September, you know, we had kind of plateaued, and we spoke about this in other videos where we saw prices kind of staying stable. But now as we head towards the winter months and as inventory starts to drop down, we start to see a bit of an increase. And you can kind of tell with if you start at essentially September and move towards October, November, December, the data here we have from the light blue is 2019, 2020, and then 2022, 2021 and 2022. And you see that in September, October, November, we start to see a bit of an increase in price. And that's typically due to low inventory. So less inventory, that means prices, more people are bidding on properties, and prices are increasing over time. We wanted to kind of do a quick sales price comparison to the rest of the GTA and see how other markets are performing. As you can see here, York region, again, we have a bit of a drop off in the York region. The light blue is Halton area. So, you know, the trends are a little bit, you know, more so the same, a bit of a plateau, and then in some areas prices are increasing, but in other areas prices are decreasing. You know, we're focused more on the Durham region. We know what the story here is, and that's due to the lack of inventory and the lack of good inventory. So as a result, we're seeing a bit of an increase. All right, guys, so we've done a quick overview of what's going on in the market. As we see, prices are staying fairly stable, but in the Durham region, starting to creep up just a little bit, and that's due to the low inventory that we have. Going forward, I think in the months of October, November, and December, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the interest rates. We got 2 more announcements to come, and those can have an impact on the market. So if you haven't bought, you know, year to date, and you're waiting and you're timing the market, it looks like, you know, things have moved in the right projection for you compared to, let's say, February 2022 till now. And in terms of, you know, speculating what can happen in the new year, I mean, it's hard to tell. Your guess is as good as mine, but if interest rates continue to increase, then we can see an impact on affordability, and perhaps we can see a bit of a pullback in prices. But as of right now, for the last couple of months, prices have stayed stable, and we're starting to see a bit of an increase. With that said, as always, if you want to talk about your personal scenario and what you're dealing with in the market today, my calendar link is below in the show notes. So feel free to book a call with me. We can jump on a call and figure out what you're going through and come up with a game plan for your personal situation.